What? No, it's not recording yet. Don't worry, I'll tell you when it's recording. I'll tell you all when it's recording. Don't worry. I know you're nervous. You're all my friends now. Okay? I got your back. All of you. Okay? We're friends now. We're in this together. We're alone. But we're alone together, okay? You all okay? Now we'll start in a minute, okay? Hi, how are ya? Hey, how are you? Hi. Hi, how are ya? Hey, how are ya? Hiya. 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 Umayaya. Testing. Testing what? Testing what? Testing your patience. P is for pneumonia, but you wouldn't think so, 'cause pneumonia clearly starts with an N. So if you turn this up, whoa. So if you, hi, hey, how are you? Hello. Welcome back to everything from. Okay. Hello. Welcome back to Everything from Nothing. Ireland's most inconsistent. Oh God, that hurt my ears, man. You gotta hear my ears like that. Okay. Welcome back to Everything from Nothing, Ireland's most inconsistent podcast. Inconsistent show. Because I don't know, like, what kind of podcast is this? Does this look like a podcast? I don't think so. So we're not going to call it a podcast anymore, because it's not really a podcast. It's more of an experience, an event, or even a situation. This is a weekly situation. That's what we'll call this. Welcome back to Everything from Nothing, Ireland's most inconsistent situation. But now it's going to be consistent as fuck. Whatever. We're going to start having guests on again. It's been inconsistent for a reason, obviously, because we're not doing it in the Green Sheep, which was a cool setup and stuff. So we have been trying to work around and get it more of a natural setup, like giant boy. I don't know what I'm saying about natural setups. This is not a natural setup. What's a natural setup would be setting up your friend to get caught for robbing a bank. That would be more natural than this. So mainly because I haven't had time to work on this exotic setup. I've been busy with other stuff. So, but yeah, now we're back on track in regards this, and we're going to do it weekly. We're going to have a guest on. We're going to start having guests on as well. We're working on buying webcams and stuff, and working out ways to have other co-hosts on the show, video, and ways to have other guests on the show via webcam. Whoop, whoop. So we're being safe, secure, very safe. So we're back. Tell a friend. Don't tell that friend if... No, tell. There's no time you shouldn't tell a friend that we're back. Part of the inconsistency has been due to the C word. The what's the C word? I don't know, that some virus. So it wasn't really in the way. It was more of an inconvenience, shall I say. It's not really... It can't affect this podcast. It can. It has affected it, but it cannot infect the podcast. Rather an affected podcast than an infected podcast. That's what Abraham Lincoln said or wasn't it Abraham Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln would have been a good name for him. Although he was trying to get, I think he was trying to, was he trying to prevent labor or create more labor? I can't remember. I probably know as much about American history as the next person from Tipperary. But yeah, so I don't know, like it's gonna be interesting anyway. So we're gonna start having structure to the show. This one's like a tester, not a tester, but it's the first one back. It's gonna be highly entertaining. We're joined by one guest. He's kind of shy, and he's here. You're never gonna believe it, like how we got him. The story's crazy. We'll talk about that another day. But yeah, I'll introduce him in a sec. So yeah, we've having it's been inconsistent. Everything, as you know, is inside out or upside down. I don't even know. Oh, these are on the wrong way. Shit. Yeah, so we are joined by a guest this week, and he's very shy. He was like, you'll know why he's shy, because you actually have met him before, and he's been shy the whole time. But he's right here. So can we reveal? Can we reveal who you are? You? No. Come on. Okay. Okay, we're gonna reveal. We got the fucking lamp from Pixar on this week's episode. He's shy, like, and that's why every Pixar movie you've seen, he's always shy. He just hops around. But yeah, yeah. No. Okay, he's a bit shy. But yeah. Anyway, we're just gonna, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. Talk about some random stuff. We're gonna drink tea, joined by all these beautiful people. Feel like Tom Hanks in Castaway, kind of. You know, when you start putting faces in places where they shouldn't be, it's kind of like, yeah, it's, I don't know. It's kind of like we're all trapped in our own little island. But this island is probably more, not sustainable, but more easier to navigate than the one Tom Hanks had to navigate in Castaway. That looked like a hard island to navigate. Like, and I'm not talking about compass navigation. I'm talking about, like, you know, like getting the berries and stuff like that. Like, you could just go to Tesco and get some raspberries, where Tom Hanks might have had to, you know, there's no 24-hour Tesco in that island where Tom Hanks is trapped. But yeah, anyway, so what else? Oh, eat ginger. I tried ginger on its own last night. It's kind of, it looks like this if you haven't seen it. It's like it looks like something out of Lord of the Rings or something. It looks like it could become self-aware and kind of. It doesn't look like it will eat you, but it looks like it could become self-aware, and it looks like it could tell you things about your past that you didn't know. Kind of got that vibe about. But yeah, it's kind of nice to definitely eat on its own. It's like strong. I'm gonna eat, just, you know, get the energy in. If you eat this stuff, like, you're up. I might be awake all night after eating ginger, but it'll help with the podcast. Jesus fucking Christ. It should blow the fucking head off you. God love it all. Jesus Christ is coming back. Whoa. You can taste the second coming of Christ off this. Fucking hell. Oh my God. Whoa. Drink with fucking. Whoa. Jesus Christ. Oh man. Oh, why do you do that? It's nice though, like it's an experience. It's more of a situation. Oh, Jesus, the show has begun now. God, Jesus Christ. No, but definitely, like, I wouldn't, like, obviously by my reaction, like, obviously some people can eat that shit and fucking, they can, you know, go about doing their taxes and they're playing Monopoly and stuff, but I couldn't, God. But it could definitely give you energy to do an out weekly situation as this is now. God, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking about, like, stories to tell or something. Oh, that's not helping. It's like spicy tea. Oh, God, is this supposed to be a weekly show that's fun or something? I don't know. I have to torture myself now. But yeah, so I was thinking about stories I could tell. I've definitely some interesting stories. I have felt like I've lived like a few lifetimes in one, but some stories I can't tell, some stories I can. Yeah, one story I was thinking of is this time I was at a rendezvous, and there was a fire being lit, and I was lighting the fire, because like, it was a celebration. It was a safe celebration, only consumed by my stupidity of, as a young lad, not being so aware of the explosive qualities that's in petrol. So yeah, I remember just standing around the fire, and it's still unsure if I lit it or someone else did, because I was going to anyway, so it doesn't take away from the fact. Even if someone else, it seems, did light it, but I was going to anyway, so it makes no odds. It was going to happen, and it was going to be my fault regardless. It makes no difference. But yeah, lit it. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever done in my life. I was completely sober, completely. What is that? Was that the problem? Who knows? Maybe I didn't eat ginger. I would have been more clairvoyant. Is not the word. The situation would have been more coherent. The future happenings would have been more coherent if I was eating ginger that night. And but yeah, it wasn't. So it blew up in my face, and I was running around. I was like, this isn't right, because like for the first few minutes you don't feel anything. For a while you didn't feel anything. And I was going up asking everyone. I was going up asking everyone, am I okay? Like, what do you think? Like half a face burnt, and most people not being sober were kind of like, you're grand, fucking whatever. There's that one guy, shout out to him for coming up and being honest and being like, I think you need to go to hospital. And he was he wasn't even that sober, but yeah, he was, he was on the ball there. So went to hospital the whole way to Clonmel from Thurles. Had my head out the window the whole way. Like honestly, the whole way. This was about 1 o'clock in the night. Head out the window the whole way, because it was burning like this. I've never felt anything like it in my life. Half my face and my hand. So yeah, I reckon. So it was like my hand got burned, and then like half my face. And the way I can only figure out how that happened, because it happened so quick, I don't know. It was just I was in a ball of fire for a second, and yeah, I reckon I did like this to block it or something, because I had this hand and one half of the face or something was, yeah, it was like that. So yeah, that makes sense. I think that's it anyway. Half my face was burnt and my hand was burnt. So I was going. Parents drive me to the old hospital. Good time happened then, not now, because it'd be a bit more troublesome on the staff to have to deal with that silliness. During the times we are present within. Back to the story. So I had my head out the window, and it just kind of, although I still feel the pain out the window, it was definitely way better than having a in the car. It was the breeze, obviously, which just helped. And yeah, so when I got there anyway, like it was in the emergency room or whatever, and there was actually a good few people in there for that time of night, which was like 1 a.m. or whatever, like that, 1:30, and there was a lot of people in there. So I was like, fuck, I couldn't even be in there. It was too warm in there. I was just running around in circles outside, thinking about, I don't know, trying to imagine. I wouldn't say just trying to imagine I was in the library, and I did such a good job imagining in the library. It made it worse, because I was like, oh, the last play. Like, I convinced myself, I was trying to take my mind off it by imagining that I was in the library. But I was so good at visualizing the library. I thought I was in the library, and I was like, fuck, I better go to the hospital. But I zoned back out, and I was like, okay, I'm at the hospital. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, so I was outside the hospital, running around in circles, trying to take my mind off the pain, waiting patiently as a patient. Only figured that the other day. Are patients called patients because they're patient? Who knows? I wasn't that patient this day anyway, and you could tell when I was standing outside, and my father called me. He's like, Kieran, come in. Whatever, just ready to see you. I run through the waiting room, run into the hall, and then this doctor looks at me and he goes, over here like this, like kind of. And so there was actually an elderly man in the hall beside this doctor. He was lying in a bed. They obviously didn't have space in the room, so one of the beds was out in the hall. This man was lying there, and his doctor was like, Kieran, and I was like, yeah. And he's like, come here. He's calling me over like this. I run over, and he's like, he's here now. And he like pointed to this old man. And I was like, what? And then he looked at the old man and said, your grandson's here to see you now. And the man was like, what? Looking at him like, that's not my grandchild. And this doctor was looking at this man as if like, and he kind of looked at me as if to say like, oh, he mightn't really remember you now. He's whatever. Like, and I was like, what? Half my face was burned, like burned. My hand was burnt, and I was running around screaming. And I just remember looking at him being like, do I look like I'm here to see my grandfather? And he just goes, oh. And it was the most, and this poor man as well. He knew well I wasn't his grandson, and the doctor was, I don't know, kind of patronizing him or whatever. Oh yeah, but the doctor said, oh, I don't know. He kind of reacted as if it was a common mistake, like, or Jesus Christ, how do you look at me young lad have a burned face and running around screaming and oh God, he probably he could have had a long night that night. That I was a nurse anyway, not a doctor. Yeah, but it was probably a long night. Any other hospital stories? Hospital stories. I've one that like where I didn't actually. This was hands down the craziest, most bizarre experience I've ever had. I won't say which hospital it was, but it was in. It's a hospital in Munster, the province. Yeah, province Munster, and it's in one of the 6 counties. It's in one of the best. I don't know if anyone's noticed. I don't take any offense. But Munster is genuinely the best province in Ireland. I'm not trying to start any wars now. I know like kind of everything's settled these days, but like Kerry, Tipperary, Limerick, Clare, Cork, and Waterford. That's all I'm gonna say. All in one province. Name a better province. Maybe there is. I'm open to suggestions, but this is my opinion. But yeah, so it was in a hospital. So this other story is I was in another hospital. One second now, I'm gonna drink my tea, and I have a big sup. So you have small sups. I'm just gonna drink it instead of explaining. That was lovely. Oh God. Yeah. So yeah, this story. I was at a hospital somewhere in Munster so I used to go there like daily for these meetings that were involved meeting with psychiatrists about helping using how we could go about using creativity to help mental health in Ireland. And so I was going there, this is a good few months back now, but I was going there weekly and to these meetings weekly, but then I started going there daily just because we were really like busy getting work done or whatever. But these meetings were always tame as they would be in in a hospital in Munster. Um, as they would, it's not in Vietnam anyway. I'll say that much. I won't say much, but I'll say it's not in Vietnam because, it wasn't in Vietnam in 1970s. This is a tame hospital in Munster, and yeah. So these meetings were, they were. There was no nothing out of the ordinary happening. There was no kind of, I don't know, there was no war injuries and messing around and that kind of crack. Not messing around, but whatever who cares, messing around. There was no messing around. But then one time, just in, like any other meeting, it was all tame, and this doctor comes, or this nurse, sorry, it was a nurse, comes running in. There's a big difference. It was a nurse, comes running in, and he just screams, which to this day was the most bizarre thing you'd ever hear in hospital. He screams, I can't do this anymore. Would her liver ever cop the fuck on? And like I remember just looking at the other like doctors that were there, just being like, this, like you could tell by their faces, it's not something you normally hear in a professional hospital anyway. Suppose maybe one of those kind of blackguardry hospitals. But yeah, you wouldn't hear that in a professional hospital. But yeah, so he came in running in because there was one psychiatrist in there. She was go-to person when it came to like all areas. Like she was like the go-to person in this hospital. She was so smart. She was very open-minded on both sides of kind of traditional and she's very smart about it all. And but yeah, so this doctor came in shouting there because he knew she was in there, and he was basically looking for her, and she said, so there's a problem with her liver, and his doctor actually just said, have you tried giving her parsley every day? Parsley, I know. See, parsley is actually full of vitamin A, and a lot of a deficiency with vitamin A can be damaging to the liver. So yes, she suggested that the nurse give this lady, elderly lady, a bit of parsley every day, and so he just sighed like and frantically went, said thank you or whatever, and walked out. So like over the next few like days and weeks or whatever, over the next few weeks, it was like I'd watched, like I became aware of like who this patient was because of, and I became aware of who this patient was who needed the parsley and had liver problems, whatever, that this nurse was so upset about. He was upset about her not getting better or whatever, and it was frustrating him, the nurse. And but I became aware of who it was because there was one room, and this woman, an elderly woman, I say she had a bit of money. She's nice though, but she had a private room, like, and so yeah, I'd walk by this room, and some days I'd see the nurse in there, but he'd always be like bent over her in a weird way. I'd only ever see the back of him, so I'd never actually see fully what he was doing. So I don't ever see the back of him, but he was bent over in a way where his hands were kind of in her, like, kind of, her lower part of her body. And me only going through puberty now at a late age, thoughts go to where thoughts go to. I have no control over that. Not my fault. Not my fault. Is that wrong? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Who cares? Whatever. That's not the point. Anyway, it was very weird because I couldn't think of any treatment. Like, the only thing I came up with then was like, maybe he's just tickling her liver. Giving it just tickling the liver just to kind of, get the blood going. Make the liver smile a bit, make the liver have a good time. Maybe that's what he was at, and I just accepted that, and I went on about my way. But this carried on for another few weeks. It was a whole month anyway. This was going on since that day, and he came in. He was going on, and just I don't know, another few weeks passed anyway after my tickle theory, and I was walking up the hall as well, and he had walked out there after performing his daily tickling techniques, and but this time he just stopped, and I kind of was getting a bit worried, not worried, but kind of like, I started thinking, if someone had been tickling my liver every day for the last month, I'd be up doing marathons by now. You know how nice that would be if someone was doing that? I'd be up doing marathons. And and this lady was not running anywhere. Like, she was not running anywhere at all. So I was a bit kind of, I needed to investigate. Like, the Sherlock Holmes deep in my blood came out that day, and I was like, so I walked into the room anyway. And I started getting closer to her, and I noticed like all this weird little, I don't know, it was like green stuff all over her, like, and bits on the floor and stuff like that. And it looked like baby bits of green cornflakes or something. It was really weird looking stuff. And what the hell? Why is it? Didn't look like stuff you'd see in a hospital. You don't really see green things in a hospital. Why? But anyway, so all these little green baby cornflake looking things spread all over her, fucking mainly down the lower area. And I got closer, and I know this is kind of weird, but I said to the lady, I said, sorry miss, do you mind if I have a taste? And it was awkward. It was obviously awkward. And she said, she just goes like kind of, yeah, she said, she didn't even say yeah, she just goes, my name's Mary, how are ya? And I just took that as a yeah. It was the way she said that, like, and so I said, okay, Mary, are you sure now? And she said, work away, sonny. She had plenty of it there. And so I had a taste. And what I uncovered was this lady was covered in parsley. This fucking nurse had been coming in every day since that day he was suggested to give the lady parsley, coming in, sprinkling parsley on her like she was some sort of roast dinner. That's how he thought like the parsley would help, not by giving it to her in her food or like as medicine. He was sprinkling on her like as if she was some buttery spuds. Like, it was madness. I could not believe it. It's definitely one of the craziest experience I ever had. And this woman, I'd say she was just a bit past the age of, like, in 2006, like, see, before 2000, since the famine, people have been, people have just been happy with their spuds. They never really needed anything added on them. But then, kind of like, in about 2006, people started getting adventurous with their spuds, and the Parsley uprising happened. But I reckon this woman was a bit too late for it. So she didn't realize that it was parsley that he was spreading all over. He just thought it was, something that a doctor would normally do. But yeah, the most bizarre experience ever. This nurse putting parsley all over this woman. It was mad. Um, yeah, it was an interesting experience, to say the least. To say the least. Do you ever think about what she said? Because like, oh, I have a question that I hope. If you don't mind commenting below, we actually. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm very bad for getting sidetracked and going. I try to have 3 conversations at once sometimes. Because I like skipping the bullshit, even though everything I talked about is it isn't bullshit, but it's maybe it is nonsensical, because it was nonsensical. That parsley story was definitely nonsensical anyway. Um, but yeah, anyone watching this, can you comment below your favorite color? Um, oh wait, actually, if you have ginger in the house, which is this mad joke, pause it and eat a bit, and then comment below your favorite color. But if you don't have ginger, will you just comment below your favorite color? And if you can comment why it's your favorite color, if you can really think about why it's your favorite color, maybe it's a connection you might have had in the past, or maybe it's just the feelings that it evokes inside you. But yeah, I'm gonna call you now, because we do this. We get letters every week, and someone sent. I've seen if there's any letters. I think there was one letter sent in. Boom, boom. But yeah, definitely comment below your favorite colors. It's a hard question, to be honest. I don't know. There's no ringing. Wait, I'm actually gonna just 2 seconds. Calling out. If anyone has any, I want to start calling people, like getting people on. We're gonna start getting guests, and they're not just going to be guests. Uh, um, they're not just. We're just gonna get anyone on, because, like, I don't know, like there's been people, like, obviously on this. I don't know, whatever. But it doesn't matter. But yeah, but we just want to get people on that, because, like, everyone has a story, and it's we definitely don't want to be like, yeah, the easy option to go is to only get people on who are musicians, who are already doing things. Obviously, it's easier to get them people on because they'd be more confident with cameras and stuff. But there's so many people out there that we want to get on, that, people that we've just met through our life, or that other people part of Crohig or part of the podcast would have met, that, because everyone has a story to tell. It's mind blowing to see that, the likes RTE have been recycling the same recycling. I can get shot by some of you. It's a weird word, but yeah, recycling the same people, and they're all fairly talented. It's not about that, but it's what I'm saying there is, that might be a bit confusing. What I'm saying is, we're all just, when it comes to Irish people anyway, like, we're all just being shown the same people all, and I think it's important to see that everyone has a story to tell, and everyone, like, has a message to share. Like, if not a message, but they have value to offer to the world, like, every single person does. So I want to start getting on everyone. I hope it picks up now. Yeah, this was just a first episode. This was just the first episode back, and we're going to start. Sorry, no. Whoa. I hope that didn't blow the ears off. Yeah. Um. But yeah, this is the first episode back from those few weeks. We're gonna get back in this swing of things. Gonna start have one guest on next week. Oh, here we go now. Hello. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good
Good
now. How's it
yourself.
going?
Good yourself.
Good. Flying now. No,
Happy St. George's Day to you. You know
say
St. George's Day.
Jesus Christ. Is it
Yeah,
today?
yeah,
God.
yeah. Patron saint of our friends and neighbours, the English.
Yeah. uh,
Yeah, there you go.
thanks.
Yeah,
I know. Happy
yeah.
St. George's Day to all our audience.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm sure they're all celebrating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Is this where they do bonfire night as well?
I think so. Or is it the Morris dancers or something like that? They'd all be. I remember down in Cornwall they used to go Morris dancing and stuff. Did you ever see that? Like they're like
No.
the bells on their heels and stuff, and they're jumping up and down.
Oh, that's proper
It's kind
pagan
of
stuff.
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous looking. But yeah, St. George. Yeah, I don't know if it's St. George's Day to do that. I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah. How are you anyway?
Yeah,
Any
excellent.
how are you getting on with the isolation? Any updates?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm doing good. Like getting used to it. Like it's amazing
Hmm.
how we can all interact with online stuff and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Doing CrossFit with Tommy Ryan's thing last night. That was brilliant.
Oh, nice.
Did it Monday night. Yeah. So
Yeah,
everybody's like in their house and doing CrossFit at the same time. So
yeah.
kind
Some
of a good, safe way of doing it.
healthy
What else are we
moving
doing?
is
Yeah,
good.
cleaning the house, decluttering. Everybody's houses are being cleaned. Same thing.
Yeah, that spring cleaning came
Um,
in early.
yeah. What about you? How are you getting on?
Good, yeah. Just I'm here surrounded by all my friends. You'll see it when this episode goes out, so you can't see it now. It's a pumpkin, a watermelon. I'm starting to turn
Oh
into Tom
wow.
Hanks, and you know Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Yeah.
I'm starting
Did
to
you give
turn
them all
into him.
names and stuff?
No,
Would you give
because
them
I'm
all names?
afraid I'm gonna have to eat them someday. You know the way people don't name their cattle because they don't want to. So I'm afraid because I know I'm
Fair
gonna
enough.
have to eat the watermelon someday, and I don't want
Yeah.
to. It's gonna be
And do you talk to them and stuff? Yeah.
yeah. Well, I actually have this guy's a bit shy now, but I actually have the lamp from Pixar. Do you know Pixar movies? He jump all over the fucking letters.
Cool.
He's
Very
actually
good.
here now as well.
Good. That's brilliant. Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Um,
And you keep busy, yeah.
yeah. Just working away and stuff. Get back in the flow now with the podcast as well. Have time for it.
Cool.
But any letters from? Did you get sent any letters over the last few weeks, or?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I got a few. I got the proposal thing from Gillis, and then I got two like problem dilemma letters or whatever.
Okay.
So would I give you Gillis's one? Yeah.
Yeah, so Gillis we had
Yeah.
Gillis
Okay.
on when I just explained that we had Gillis on for one of the episodes before you can check that out, Gillis McBain. So he's after sending a letter to you.
Yeah.
So what is it?
So his proposal, like so his first bit is government to make Shannon flow uphill? Question mark. Is the government, this one or the next one, planning to make the Shannon flow uphill? Question mark. The majestic Shannon would still flow as it has done for an estimated 20 million years, but it would be intercepted at Parteen, and for a billion or 2 billion, which we don't have, but seemingly would not be hard to find, we will pump it back up to Dublin. To drain the Shannon is a recurrent political promise, but this project will not drain the counties liable for flooding. Any farmer can tell you it is not the drain at the bottom of the field that dries up, it is the drain at the top of the field that doesn't let the water get down there in the first place. Perhaps the politicians of old were all city men or just outrageous bluffers, but this rule still holds true. You cannot drain the Shannon from Parteen, County Limerick. To extract water there will do nothing for the farms and families of Tipperary, Clare, Offaly or Roscommon. By the time the winter floodgates get to Parteen, the damage is already done. What madness. Why not tap into the Shannon in Upper County Leitrim and let the water flow to Dublin of its own accord downhill? Having flooded numerous smaller farmers and then been piped across the country through the best flat fields, the bigger ones, one third of its precious water after expensive treatment to make it drinking quality will, think about it, eventually be lost to leakage to dampen the basements and wine cellars of desirable residents in wealthy inner Dublin suburbs. And then he goes, a new city for Tipperary, question mark. Tipperary, unlike its
New
neighbours,
city for
Limerick,
Tipperary.
Cork. Yeah, it's going to happen. Limerick, Cork or Kilkenny is no city. So instead of bringing the water up to the overpopulated Dublin, why not bring the people down to the water to innovate a new city at Bird Hill? This should not be misunderstood. We all love our capital city, its loose lines, its M50, its thriving but congested shopping streets, and its leaky water mains. But it was all built in the wrong order. A city built in Bird Hill would have convenient access to water, saving $1 billion or $2 billion. It has bypass already built, saving 10 years or so. It has a rail connection that can quickly become a loose line at minimal expense without the cost of disruption of digging up the city centre shopping streets. Every half mile or so, this loose line could have unattended stops where healthy young commuters of new creative economy could get off and walk to the latest quarter of a mile to their homes, apartments in pedestrianised enclaves. The citizens of the Midwest new city would be close to in travelling time to the Shannon Airport as many residents of South Dublin to theirs. Certain Tipperary, Limerick, Clare landowners, needless to say, would get rich and could park their new yachts at Drumineer. The tired argument against rural development that it takes a city or a town of a certain size to accommodate new industry would have the ground cut from under it. A new Tipperary city would be designed from the start to achieve minimal and in brackets maximal size and would solve city centre congestion for all time by not having a city centre. The smart shops could still be in Nina and Limerick at the two ends of the linear development, not in the middle. So there you go.
Wow.
That's
What?
Gillis's proposal.
Is that Gillis's proposal? Jesus
so,
Christ.
I think he's right. I think we need to build a city in Bird Hill, huh?
I think he's right as well. I think Dublin like I
Dublin's
definitely
done.
like yeah. Well, yeah, I think when you look at like Dublin becoming the city is just the product of where the Vikings landed, like pretty much. Like it's not really like, whereas London, Berlin, all them cities are kind of in the middle for, there's a few
That's true, yeah.
There's loads of
we
reasons
could
why
make
that
Dublin
makes
a museum
sense.
or something.
Sorry?
Yeah. We could make Dublin into a museum.
Yeah, just put walls around it. People come visit.
Yeah, put a roof on it and lock it, and then move everybody down. Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
Be much better.
I definitely like the whole. It does that. There's definitely a lot in that makes sense. Like, it's really interesting.
Yeah, and then we don't have to move the water at all. So that's good.
No.
We don't have to waste all that energy pumping water either.
That's really interesting.
That's good.
Jesus, that has me thinking
cool.
now. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So let's turn Bird Hill into New York and Thurles into Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I definitely think we could do that.
Yeah.
We'll have a meeting about it, like when this virus thing calms down. Just kind of get ground moving. Go for planning permission anyway.
Yeah,
I think we should go for planning permission.
Yeah. We should definitely. Let's definitely give it a shot. We should definitely send in some planning permission. With a plan that kind of big, you want to send them in a box of roses as well. Sweeten the deal.
I think so. Yeah. Just to help them get through all that.
I think I have one of those. You know where the roses, like, they evolved, they de-evolved, they got smaller as the years gone on. I have a box of roses from 2006, so it's 2005 box of roses, so it's like half the size of the ones now. So we could give them them. There'd be some gone off. There'd be some gone off, but they'd rather the bigger box than, a few gone off won't do any harm.
Would they taste all right? Yeah.
They would, but I see the thing is, they won't taste nice as they're eating them. But knowing that they have so many more there, they'll be. Do you know what I mean? That'll make it taste nicer. It'll be kind of like, oh, maybe the next one's going to be better.
True. Yeah.
But
that's good.
Yeah, that is good. I really like that. It actually has me thinking a lot. Like now.
Yeah.
What So what was the problem letters then you got sent in?
Oh yeah, problem. Yeah, there was another one here from Sharon. Dear
Sharon.
Craig, I worked part-time in a local bar in Thurles and earned about €90 per week until the coronavirus broke out. Currently, I'm receiving $350 COVID-19 payment. I'm filled with anxiety that the outbreak will end and I will have to go back to work, and more importantly, drop my income by €260. I know this is wrong to say, but while others are busy washing their hands, I find myself out on the road licking the curb. Am I a bad person, guilt-ridden and anxious, Sharon? Sharon, you are a bad person.
Jesus fucking Christ, Sharon. Yeah, what the hell? You shouldn't be doing that. What? So she was before this she was getting paid 90, and now because of the social welfare she's getting 350 a week for not working.
Yes.
And she's licking curbs just to keep the virus going.
I think so. It sounds like that. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's scandalous. Carry on, Sharon. I don't think she should be doing that. So she wants to keep the virus going so she can stay on this new welfare payment.
On the 350 a week, yeah. But she's anxious and guilt-ridden as well, so she knows it's wrong. Like.
Yeah, okay.
So at least she's a conscious, you know what I mean? So
okay.
I wouldn't want to be too hard on her, but
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to. It was just a reaction. It wasn't actually at you in general, Sharon. I'm just everything's a bit anxious at the moment.
I can see your point. Like you know, it is a dose like to drop back to €90 a week, and then have to go working in this bar that she obviously doesn't like working there.
Yeah. It's kind of just a very symbol. It's kind of it's symbolic of how the system wasn't working great in the first place before this.
She should have been getting more than €90 a week.
Yeah.
I think.
And she wouldn't. Yeah. She from it didn't say. Obviously, you don't. Is there an address? She's Thurles.
Yeah.
Because I think that the GA club out the middle road were looking for someone to paint the grass. But
were they?
But no, I don't know now. They mightn't be now because the matches will be cancelled for a bit. So I don't know. I can't. She's like, because obviously, she'd be better off in the 350. But Jesus, no, I don't think she should be licking curbs, or should she? Like,
if I was her, Sharon, what I would do now is don't be worrying about it. But I would try and get something that would pay better than that €90. So I'd be trying to hatch a plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When she goes back, that that she's back to at least getting 350 a week, doing something she rather was doing than working in that bar.
Yeah.
That's what I think I would. Yeah. But
so you're saying definitely kind of use this time to kind of rather than licking curbs and spreading the virus, just use the time to kind of prepare for when the virus passes, is to go out and get a job and stuff.
I think so. Yeah, get something else.
I like that suggestion. It's healthy. It's a healthy suggestion. It's kind of safer as well.
Yeah. And then we had another one from Kevin. What's Kevin want? Oh, dear Crohic.
Kevin want.
Yeah, Kevin. Dear Crohic, I bought a suit at a Thurles charity shop a few months back, and only to discover that it was 350 cash in the inside pocket. I intended to go back to the shop with the money, but now I've left it so long I feel embarrassed. I was thinking if you called it out in your podcast to see if anyone would claim it or not, if I could or should keep it. Sincerely, Kevin.
Okay.
So if anyone's left money in a suit in a charity shop.
Okay, right. So if anyone okay, that was interesting. Jesus, that was really Jesus, fair play to him. I'll explain it. So apparently, so if anyone from Thurles has ever left was it a suit jacket? We say
suit,
or the pants, suit jacket. So the jacket or the pants. Okay, so if anyone in Thurles or Thurles area left a suit jacket into a charity shop, I don't know, sometime even in the past, because God knows when he bought it, or
a couple of months, he said, 2 months back.
350, so he still has the money, is it? And he wants to give it back.
Well, I don't know. That's pretty much it. Like, I think he's hoping that I'm sure I'm just say if we called it out and nobody says that, and he probably thinks, he said, or could I keep it? Like, should he keep it? Yeah.
Oh, right.
Nobody claims it.
If nobody claims it. So if anyone wants to, that's fair. That makes sense. Fair play to him. Jesus. So if anyone that might have owned that 350, just contact us. Whatever, email us, comment, whatever, messages on Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
But message us and we'll get on touch with Kevin. Jesus.
Yeah, he left his number there. So
fair play to him.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
He didn't find any ID or anything like that. Now I suppose no. You sure he'd know then.
He'd know then. Yeah, no, I'd say it was just cash. Yeah.
Oh, that's very noble.
If anyone, it's very decent of him. Yeah. So could he keep it? Then he says, should he? Yeah, sure. Why not? If nobody claims it.
Yeah. I agree. If no one claims it, Kevin, happy Christmas.
Yeah. Or you could donate it to Craig as well,
Yeah. Send it to Kevin. Yeah, send it to us if we'll buy new lights.
Yeah.
So if anyone watching this might have won that 350, whatever, give us a message, comment, and we'll put you in touch with Kevin.
We'll get your money back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's fair enough. People are dropping their suits into charity shops. should get their money back if they left it in by mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, because if they're nice
That's only
enough to
fair.
put money, or if they're nice enough to donate their clothes to charity shops, that's good karma that they'd get their money back. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah. So how are you going? How much time have you done your podcast there?
I'm on 44 minutes now, so finish up now in minutes. Nice time.
Man.
Kind of
cool.
Yeah, so I think we were this worked out well. We're trying to work out ways to get webcams and set up so that we all have webcams and stuff like that, and that'll be fun. We'll get that started for next week.
That'd be brilliant. Yeah, we could do more interactive stuff and all that crap.
Yeah. Do some, I don't know, finger painting or fucking making faces with macaroni and cheese and all that arts and crafts.
Yeah.
Live arts and crafts.
That'd be brilliant. Yeah, that'd be so good. Yeah, cool.
Hey, do you ever eat,
anyway, so
before we go, do you ever eat raw ginger?
No, it's good.
Oh, I'd blow the head off you. I suggest eating a bit of that and you get work done in no time. Like I had a bite there before the podcast and it was a good podcast.
Is it?
It's good stuff.
And is it like chili or something? Does it burn the face
off? Oh, burn the face off you. It burned the tongue off. It won't burn. It's like it's like burn, but it's not. It's kind of like
cold.
It's kind of like if you're eating a chewing gum in the Antarctic or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Lovely. Yeah. Nice. Minty.
Yeah, it's fresh. It makes you feel alive anyway, that's for sure.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
cool.
So yeah.
Very good.
Right, sure. I'll talk to you soon,
you. See you
next week.
Good luck. Cheers, Ken. Bye.
Yeah, that was our weekly letter thingy. We'll have webcams and stuff so we can see. It's not going to be just this screen. There will be more movement and stuff soon. Whoa. We're gonna finish up now. There's spirits are in the house. They're telling me my producer is actually a spirit of the other world, and he says it's time to finish up. That's a sign. See you next week. Thanks a million to the Credit Union and DHRyan Architects for getting us this equipment and sponsoring it and all that crack. Genuinely very wholesome local supportive organizations from Thurles. But yeah, more about doing things and stuff soon. Get out in the sun. Get that vitamin D into you. It's good for the skin. It's good for everything. It's good for vitamin D. You need that stuff. It doesn't come around too often. It comes around from the sun now, so you should be in it. See you next week. Oh, wrong one. Bye. Have a good time. Bye.